What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Gotians Games, and we have an update on Alicization Lycoris. I told you there was going to be a demo, a playable demo that was going to be at a Bandai event for an early premiere event that they were doing for the game, and here we are. This information is being brought to us by the Sao Wiki on Twitter. If you guys do not follow them, I'll leave a link to their Twitter page down below. Let's get into this, guys, because there's a lot of information here for the game. I wish that we had some actual video of the demo, but I guess it's not something that they were allowing people to do. So, first things first, on the first post here, Alicization Lycoris. You guys, like, I can't, it's so hard for me to say it that way just because, like, I think of licorice. So Alicization Lycoris, or Lycoris, or Licorice, however you want to pronounce it, had an early beta or had an early premiere event earlier today in Japan. In this thread, we will be providing translations of the information provided by Senritsu. Pictures are also from Senritsu's tweets. So thank you to both of these. Like I said, I'll go ahead and I'll leave a link to the SAO Wiki for you guys to follow on Twitter. Alright, so first things first, the pause menu restarting the game features the Wrath logo along with the initials Alice for the artificial, Labile intelligence cybernated existence. Now, the way that I see this, okay, let's pull that up. The way that I see this is, unlike previous games, there's no pause menu. So if you guys played any of the previous SAO games, specifically Hollow Realization, Hollow Fragment, and Fatal Bullet, none of those games have a legit pause menu. This game will have a pause menu. Okay, so that's pretty interesting just in and of itself, because the other ones were modeled around an MMO style game. So this one here is modeled more a traditional based game. Going to the next one here, there will be 2 preview modes available: open world around Ruled Village and 1v1 duel Kirito versus Eugeo Synthesis 32. This is a screenshot of the town of Master Eugeo and Kirito there. I think the background looks absolutely gorgeous. Like, really does. Really does. So that's really cool. Open world experience. You can play as Eugeo too. More info further down in the thread, which that's cool. That's cool that we don't necessarily need to only play as Kirito, unlike the other SAO games where you're just stuck playing as Kirito. So that's gonna be cool. I really like that. I hope like everything is explorable. That would be fantastic to have like a completely open world experience similar to like Breath of the Wild. That would be amazing. It would be amazing, honestly. Let's see. Ruled instance is quite large, 1 to 2 kilometers wide, and mountains was inaccessible during demo, but I believe that they will be accessible. So like the different areas will trigger different instances or different areas for you to explore. So it's open world, but not so. Like when I say open world, meaning like each area is an open world for you to explore. It's not like open world like say Red Dead Redemption, where it's completely open world to the limits of the map, or like sandbox style games, so to speak. Climbing feature on certain objects. A plant was growing on a windmill that could be picked up. All right, that's cool. This is the climbing feature that they're referring to. So I guess we'll be able to scale walls and stuff like that using whatever is accessible in the area. Interactable objects on an open world, including a marker at a kiln-like thing that did not activate in the demo. Futami didn't provide information. Minimap was not yet implemented. You can fight wildlife. In the case of Senritsu, he found a bunny to fight, not the picture. So that's cool. Like the wildlife just roams around and you can fight it. Giving more to that real world, open world aspect of it. God, can I just say, like, I just want to appreciate really quick just the background here is just, I know I keep saying that, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Like look at the grass, look at the stone. Like the detail on the stone is just phenomenal, man. Really is. The only thing to me is like it's so realistic looking that seeing Kirito and Eugeo here, like it's almost like they don't fit in the world. It's really, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. it's really weird in that way because, like, the background looks realistic, but themselves knowing like they look like anime characters, it just doesn't. It seems weird. Almost like they're photoshopped into it. I can't be the only one who thinks that. All right. So due to size, Bunny was hard to fight. Promised to be fixed. There were also actual monsters around. Huge difference from the main canon. You can walk in shallow water or swim in deep water. Swimming was too slow. Futami clarified it was because of the trial build. Okay, so this is a bit of the combat system here. Again, like, okay, so the background, everything looks like photorealistic almost. And even the monsters themselves look realistic. And then you have Kirito here. He kind of just, he stands out in a weird way. Like, in a way that it's very weird. It's very weird. That's all I can say is like he looks very weird in comparison to like the monsters and everything else. And I don't know, I don't know if maybe that's intentional so the characters themselves stand out. But if that was the case, then you would want like the monsters and stuff to stand out as well. I just feel like it's something that's odd. Something else to note is so you have four buttons that you can go ahead and do your attacks and stuff. Which is similar to, I would say it's similar to past SAO games. So you have your 4 attacks, and then over here it looks like you have different abilities that you can use with your directional pad. So that's pretty cool as well. I do like the way the health bar is situated. So you have, it looks like, okay, so yeah. So on the bottom, I can't. It keeps on like this keeps on popping up. I don't want this to keep on popping up. But underneath, you see Kirito's health bar, and you see a risk level. So I'm assuming the risk level, the higher your risk is, the more the enemies will be aggroed onto you. That's what it looks like. Especially if you take into consideration some past games that use a risk bar like that. The enemy also has a risk bar, which is cool too. And then on the lower left-hand side, you see Yu-Gi-Oh's health bar, and the reason you can tell is because it's got the blue rose on it. That's how you can tell. And looking at it, it's got an L1 trigger, meaning or the way that I see it, the L1 trigger means that maybe you can switch between the two characters like that on the fly, which would be really cool if that was the case, like 100%, because that's what it looks like. And it's very similar to what's another game that does it? I think Final Fantasy 15 on the after they patched the game and they released the DLC, you could switch between the characters on the fly. I think that's what they're doing here, and that would be freaking awesome. That would be really cool. I would love to be able to see that. This is why, like, I would have loved to have seen an actual video of this instead. The demo allowed you to climb a waterfall. This is confirmed to be a bug due to Kirito not being a Gyarados, and will be fixed. Oh, that's good. That's good. Time counter and weather status on screen to complement the dynamic weather features. Lighting changes seamlessly on the go, unlike Hollow Realization. Okay, that's cool. So we have weather changes, lighting changes from day and night. That's really cool. So you can see them traveling throughout the landscape. Dude, this looks so gorgeous. This will be hands down be the best looking SAO game. Period. Oh man. See, honestly, this makes me want to buy a PS4 Pro, but with PS5 on the horizon, and us being able to play PS4 games on the PS5, I can wait. But damn, this looks good. This makes me want to buy a 4K television. That's what this makes me want to do. Alright, so this is nighttime. It just looks so damn good, man. Oh my god, it really does. It's such a beautiful design game. Man, like, so much love is going into this game, I swear. Alright, going down to the next area. On to the 1v1 dual preview mode. Also, an isolated developer instance just to showcase the fight. Unlike the trailer, Alice does not intervene in the fight. Game over screen is designed to make it feel not like a game. To highlight Underworld is not a game. So That looks like it's poor translation right there. But let's take a look at this. This is the fight, the PvP fight between them. Dude, that looks good, man. That looks good. That's exciting. The ice looks gorgeous. I'm almost expecting like Shiva to pop up from behind, like Final Fantasy Summon or something. Dude, that just looks good. That looks good. Fight was set to easy, so there wasn't much of a challenge, but Senritsu stated he wasn't particularly skilled to take on the battle. He got pounded by the release relocations per his description, so perfect weapon control and memory release mechanics are in the game. Nice. Nice. Right there, that's his, I think, is it his memory release? Dude, that is awesome. It's amazing. Like, I can't wait. That looks like a dual trigger. So it looks like there's gonna be timed mechanics in the event or in fights. I can see that. I can see something like that because that looks like a time trigger. So it's like press square at the right time to parry or whatever. I could see them doing something like that. Wouldn't be the first time Bandai's done that in the game. During fights, the amount of information on the screen with various gauges can be overwhelming. Senritsu states it may become troublesome without a more comprehensive tutorial screen. Sword skills feel different with specific roles compared to previous games. Okay. Alright, so yeah, I have no idea what's going on there. That circle map thing, or you know, that overlay looks a little confusing because we don't know what it does. So obviously there will be a sort of tutorial to explain all that. I do want to note, when you're looking at this here, I want to know, look at the upper left hand corner. You see a time, so I wonder if that's time of day. That almost looks like it is time of day. Battles look like they're gonna be in real time, just like any other SAO game has been. So it doesn't take you into like a battle screen or anything like that. It looks like it's real time. And the reason why I say that, if you're on the right side of the image, you'll see the climbing notifications, but the climbing image is there. So yeah, dude, dude, this is looking so good, man. It really is. All right, continue on. Right here's the button layout. Very nice. I just, like, I don't speak Japanese, so I can't really say any, you know, what it does. But I mean, what else can I say except We'll see more information as stuff gets translated and stuff like that. But okay, so going on. Sacred arts are moves. Excuse me. Sacred arts moves are charged moves, and you are vulnerable while charging. That makes sense because you had to focus to activate your sacred arts. Lots of skills: HP regen, attack up, generate aggro, and tons of sword skills. Generate aggro on partner to safely use sacred arts. You can use sacred arts only during combat stance with your sword drawn. All right, let's take a look here. So this is more of the combat that we saw before. Okay, that's all right. Go down here. So Q&A section. Take some answers with a grain of salt. Appears to be spoiler shielding. Okay. No bed scenes, which we talked about before in my past video. I'll go ahead and I'll link that for you guys, where we discussed SAO potentially being censored, where it's not really that it's censored, more so that it doesn't make sense to the game. I just feel like they used the wrong tones, or the wrong excuse, I should say. Like they were saying because of you know, the I'm just gonna flat out say because of the SJW crowd, they were taking out the bed scenes from this game and not gonna be putting them in there at all. When in actuality, the way they should have said it instead was they're not putting bed scenes in the game because it doesn't make sense for the context of the game, which I can completely understand that. The other thing to mention is the Quinella being censored, wearing clothes instead of being nude during the fight. Again, to me, I understand why they did it. I really don't care. They did it because they don't want to get an M rating for the game, which is understandable because all the other SAO games have been T for teen. If they make that scene where she's completely nude, then you're gonna get slapped with the M rating for the game. The other thing to consider is that I want to know if they're gonna censor the blood, okay? Because in teen-rated games, you're only allowed a certain amount of blood in a game, which is like, for example, why games like the Persona games, which feature a lot of blood and stuff like that, typically are M-rated. I actually think all of them are M-rated games. So when you start putting more blood and gore and stuff like that into the games, then you get slapped with the M rating game. So I don't know if it's gonna really have as much blood as the anime had itself, because the anime had a lot of blood in it. But with that being said, in taking that into consideration with the no bed scenes and Quinella being fully clothed, I think that there's probably not going to be so much blood in the game, which I'm okay with. Again, it doesn't really bother me, because it's one of those things where it's like they don't want to get slapped with an M rating. I get it. So the only instances where I would, for me, there would need to be blood is if you're showcasing specific things, like when their eye explodes. That's like kind of vital to the game, like their eye explodes. If they, do it in a way that they show a little bit of blood and it's not really like super gory, then I'd be okay with that. That's one of those things where it's acceptable censorship. I get it. Anyways, continuing on. The game appears to be focusing on underworld perspective only, not real world ocean turtle. Alice is playable. Alice is a playable character, guys. This is great. This is great. Alice is a playable character. Now, the game being focused on the underworld perspective only, not the real world ocean turtle. I talked about this before. I would like to see that as like a DLC side story, so we get Asuna's story. I would really, really like to see that. I really, really, really would like to see that, and I hope that we get that in the game, because in my opinion, the real world ocean turtle part of the story is very important to the story. Going down here, Ronnie and I forgot her name, Tice were also asked, but no confirmation was provided. Okay. You can change your equipment. Okay. Quinella is wearing clothes, which we talked about. Otherwise, Futami would be in trouble. Again, we talked about that because we don't want, like, they didn't want it to get a M rating game, or I don't remember what the rating is for Japan, but they didn't want to get the adult rating for the game. So I understand that. No stat allocation. Stats will increase automatically on level up, like Hollow Realization. So like a traditional RPG, which makes sense. Okay, so now we're gonna go down to this is Quinella that we've seen in the trailer. Status screen for characters was not featured in the demo. Futami apologizes for the inconvenience. They couldn't show it. Okay. No panty shots, or if Futami gets in trouble, maybe shorts. Okay, well, I mean, we don't really care. Rios diving onto the bed won't be featured due to negative reception overseas. I have a problem with that. Okay. The problem, so here's the thing when we get to censorship. This would be a topic for another video, but just really quick. I have a problem with it because you're catering to the people that don't care, that the people that are not going to buy this game. Okay, that's who you're catering to. You're using the wrong excuse. If you were using the excuse that he's not going to be diving into the bed like in the anime and things like that, because we don't want to get the M rating game, that's understandable. You're using the wrong excuse. All right, so we'll talk about that in another video, because that's a video. So we'll go down here. Take this with a major grain of salt. Question was if Worldly Underworld will be in an update or a sequel. Keep in mind, Dengeki had confirmed the game would cover the entire Alicization. Futami responded by complaining about the large amount of characters. Okay, all right. This we're going to talk about really quick. And again, there's probably be another video. I mentioned before in another video that I don't think, maybe I mentioned in a live stream, I don't remember, but I mentioned that I don't think that it will cover the entire Alicization for two reasons. One, the game is already available for pre-order in GameStop, Amazon, Best Buy. You could pre-order this game anywhere. So that's number one. Number two, the game will be extremely massive if it's covering both arcs. Okay, it would be extremely massive. Or both arcs. I mean, it's technically one arc, but I say both arcs in the way that it's like, okay, part 1 and part 2. Like, they split the anime up into part 1 and part 2 for a reason, because it's massive. The other thing is, if this follows the light novels, there's a lot of extra stuff they could put into the game as opposed to the anime. There's that whole 2-year time skip that happened, and they could for sure cover that in the video game. On top of that, there's the journey that Kirito and Eugeo go through when they travel from Eugeo's hometown to the capital. So that entire time, that entire journey, number 1, could be covered. And then on top of that, the 2-year time skip, which also includes the tournament against the other classmates and stuff like that. So that's stuff that could 100% be covered, and if it is, that would further increase the length of the game. I'm thinking the game will be split into 2 parts, and the biggest reason is because you can pre-order the game. So the reason why I keep bringing that up, if you go and check GameStop, Best Buy, Amazon, whatever, all those places, wherever you buy your video games at, it says you can pre-order with the release date of 12/31/2019. That is a placeholder in the game, okay? Because obviously we don't have an official release date for the game yet, but I feel like we will be getting an official release date in during E3. Okay, I feel like we will, and honestly, I feel like the release date will be October, because the anime comes back in October. And with that being said, that is the best time for them to release this game, because of all the hype of the anime coming back. Now, if that's the case, even if they release it towards the end of the year in December, if they release it and it covers the entire Alicization arc, then you are spoiling the story for those who want to watch the anime. You're spoiling for them. So the best way to handle this is to have the game release in October, cover the first half of the series, and then the second game releases next year when the game, or when the anime is done, and then that can cover the second half. Or if they wanted to push it towards October and release it in October, because that is Kirito's birthday month, you could release it there as well. So that's how I feel it should be handled. To like 100% honest opinion, how I feel like it should be handled and how it possibly could be handled. And which is probably one of the reasons why he doesn't want to confirm it. The other thing too is, if they cover both arcs, or both, I would consider them 2 arcs, because they're 2 separate arcs. So if they're going to cover both arcs of the story in one game, I would feel like the game would then be rushed, and I don't want a rushed game. I really don't. I'm a big fan of games taking their time, game companies taking their time, not rushing things, and doing the best job they possibly can. Which is why I'm okay with games like Final Fantasy VII Remake being split into 2 games. Which, yes, Final Fantasy VII Remake has I believe been confirmed to be split into 2 games. So if they want to split this into 2 games, be my guest. Make it the best possible game you could do and split it into 2 games. That would be amazing. End it with the Quinella fight. All set. All set. Because that's like the equivalent. Spoiler warnings. I'm going to give you spoilers right now. If you guys have not seen the anime or read the light novels and nothing like that, you are being warned right now. 3, 2, 1, spoiler warning. You want to end it with Yu-Gi-Oh's death, or Eugeo. I'm sorry, I got so used to saying Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want to end it with Eugeo's death, okay, during the fight with Quinella, you end it with his death in the similar sense to Aerith dying in Final Fantasy VII, which I believe that's where they're going to end the first game of Final Fantasy VII. That is the best way to do it. You end it there, and then you have the character's new resolve to continue on. You know, Kirito and Alice, you have their new resolve to continue on, and that's the best way to lead into the next game. And then from there, to keep us interested, you release DLC, which could be in the case of telling Eugeo and Alice's story when they're kids, releasing DLC of the real world. You know, there's so much that you could do to expand the story while we wait for the next game. So with that, that is everything that got released. I know it's a really long video. I do appreciate you guys watching and hanging out with me today. This, like I said, really long video, but I wanted to talk about this because this is a big deal for me and a big deal for a lot of you guys. So Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and if you guys have Twitter, check out and follow SAO Wikia. Like I said, I'll go ahead and leave a link to them. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay cool, guys. Stay cool.